Straight ahead at 6, our special report on the right whales.
Once abundant, now scarce in the Atlantic off Georgia's coast.
I'm Russ Jameson. The Georgia coast is the calving ground for the endangered right whale. And right now, naturalists are worried about problems in this habitat. I'll have more in my special report coming up next.
The choice ends March 2nd at Toyota dealers. The choice between incredibly low 4.9% financing or $1,000 rebates on new Toyota 4x4 trucks. Take your choice. 4.9 annual percentage rate financing or your Toyota factory distributor rebate. All Camry Deluxe sedans like this give you a choice. Low 5.9% financing or take a $1,000 rebate. $1,000 back on Camry. Hurry, your choice to save big ends March 2nd at Toyota dealers.
Maybe you think your kids don't have easy access to drugs. They do. Maybe you think your kids' change in behavior and dramatic mood swings are normal. They may not be. Maybe you think the problem will go away by itself. It probably won't. Call Charter Brook Hospital now for a free, confidential evaluation. Maybe you don't worry about your kids and drugs. Maybe you should.
Listen here, Morton Downey Jr., if you think you'll get the last word on the Arsenio Hall show, then you got another thing coming, right, guys? I mean, these people are coming here to have a good time. They're not taking lip off you, right, guys? And you know what? Joan Rivers ain't gonna take lip off you either. She feels the same way I do. We got your number, Morton Downey Jr. These ain't a bunch of whips like what you used to, right, guys? That was before, and this is now. Me, Joan, and you on the next Arsenio Hall show. Yeah!
Tonight at midnight on Channel 5. It's lean. It's
Beautiful.
and it's on its way. Prepare to meet the all-new Mercury Cougar. One mean kitty at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
A decade ago, Georgia's right whale was thought to be nearly extinct. Now, researchers know they come south in the winter, go north in the summer, but they don't know much else. Tonight, Channel 5's Russ Jameson concludes his special report with a look at what's being done to help keep these right whales from vanishing.
Brenda, imagine not knowing much about a creature as big as a boxcar, weighing perhaps 40 tons. These giant creatures are still mysteries for the most part. Learning more will come later. Now, researchers simply want to know how many still exist and where they go.
People just need to be aware of the fact that they are host to this tremendously critical habitat for this whale.
Before man began marking time, these warm waters were home to the right whale, Eubelina glacialis, a mammal 50 feet long and weighing up to 70 tons, crowned with a tough horny growth called callosities. Their range is the shallow waters off the east coast from Nova Scotia south to the Georgia and North Florida coasts. Summer and fall, they filter the rich waters of the Bay of Fundy for krill on which they feed. It is also their mating grounds. If successful, a year later, pregnant cows migrate south to our coast to birth and nurse their young. But as much as we do know about right whales, these waters still hide more than they tell.
Well, there's still a lot of mysteries that are unanswered, such as where does the rest of the population go in the wintertime?
You know, I wonder if these animals may have been hanging out together the whole time.
For 2 months this year, New England aquarium researchers have photographed each whale, each unique because of that crown of callosities, charting each sighting. This year, near 30, up from an all-time low of 7 in '88. Researchers have a lot of concerns about the future of the right whale, primarily its survival. Survival in this part of its habitat where shipping is on the upswing. Right whales are large, slow-moving creatures. They primarily stay on the surface, and they are very difficult to see in any light. And they're no match for ocean-going tankers. In the center of the right whale's winter habitat is St. Mary's Inlet, an active seaport. Tankers and shrimpers ply these waters, and researchers know that whales have been killed when they cross large ships, so they are cautious. Bill Cavanaugh is in his second decade as a harbor pilot. He has seen the Wrights, but he says he's never had a close call.
I don't think there's anybody that's against the whales. I think everybody in the shipping industry feels the same way I do, that they're a beautiful creature and that they need to be protected.
But there is a quiet and troubling undercurrent for this species. Unfettered by hunting, the right whales have not rebounded. Just last month, a young calf beached itself on Cumberland Island and died. Its death is being investigated. Researchers are worried that perhaps the whale's gene pool is too small, and they may be too inbred, causing fatal genetic defects and possibly rendering them sterile. Hans Neuhauser from the Georgia Conservancy heads the right whale recovery team, and it is charged with formulating proposals for right whale survival.
Humans over the last 800 years have driven this whale almost to the brink of extinction, and we have a moral obligation to try to help it, because those right whales have just as much right to be on this earth as we do.
Last year, during the construction of the Kings Bay nuclear sub-base, Krause and his associates saw only 7 whales, and for a time they thought that may have driven them away. But this year they saw 30 whales and calves, so they think the subs may not be a factor. If you'd like to help, you can adopt a right whale. Write the New England Aquarium or call 1-617-973-6582.
Oh, very fascinating, Russ. Now, you said the calves and their babies come down. What happened to the rest of the whales? That's not all of them. What about the bulls?
That's one of the great mysteries. They want to know where they go. They know that there are 250. If 30 calves and whales come down here, there are 220 that simply disappear in our wintertime.
You and Scott McLaughlin and Joanne Malice did a real nice job putting that together.
It was very nice. I'd like to thank them.
Thank you.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, Ken Cook tells us if the worst of the big chill is behind us. His forecast is next.
And then the big weigh-in as boxing champ Mike Tyson prepares to put personal business aside and do battle for his title. Jeff Hollinger when we return.
Maaco Auto Painting and Body Works is having a super sale on our presidential paint service. Maaco's presidential paint service is now super sale price for only $199.95 now at Maaco.
Under $10,000. Air conditioning, Chevrolets, Nally North, Nally South. Not just one, but many loaded new 89 Chevy cars and trucks. Celebrity, full-size pickup, Beretta, Corsica. Your choice, $99.99. Cavalier, just $89.99. S10 pickup, $79.99. Chevrolets, under $10,000. That be Nally, Georgia's largest dealer. South on Stewart Avenue at I-85. North side in Marietta, 1/4 mile west of the Big Chicken.
You gotta see it. Win, lose, or draw's got a whole new format.
What is it, boys?
It's faster.
You only got 30 seconds to get it?
It's funnier.
What in the world? Gumby! Is that an elephant?
And look at the stars. Get the picture?
I don't have a clue. Oh.
The new Win, Lose, or Draw, tonight at 7:30, right after Family Feud on Channel 5.
In honor of President's Day, your Nissan dealer is celebrating. You can drive off in a new Sentra for absolutely no money down. Or take off in a new hard-body truck with no down payment. Plus, we've got special low prices on a great selection of new 240 SXs. So don't just sit there, because the Nissan President's Day celebration doesn't last forever. See your nearest participating Nissan dealer now for a great deal.
Well, the worst may be over. Almost.
Just about. I guess after tonight, the warm-up will begin again, but tonight it's going to be a very cold night. We won't have that extreme wind or that wind chill like we had last night, but still very, very cold temperatures. Please dress warmly going out this evening. It's going to be cold. Taking a look at what's going on the East Coast now. Tomorrow, if you're traveling up along the East Coast, you're going to find a lot of snow on the ground, probably still a lot of snow on the roads, because this has been a major winter storm with a lot of heavy snow. Anywhere from 6 to 18 inches has fallen over eastern portions of North Carolina and Virginia, and that will continue on up to near New York City and Boston during the night, gradually moving on up the coast during the day and the afternoon tomorrow. High temperatures across the southeast were awfully cold, but a lot better than yesterday, so the warm-up really has already started. We were at 38 out to the west of us in the Louisiana-Texas area. Temperatures coming back into the 50s, and tomorrow the high-pressure cell will slide on down to the south east of where it is now. Winds will turn around to southwest and westerly direction, and the temperatures will be going up. That's certainly good news. They will continue going up, as a matter of fact, on Sunday as well. Most of the weather across the country is in the east. Then there's a blank area, no weather going on until we get way out into California, where another weather system is well off the coast. But that one, in fact, is moving back out to sea, so we're really not looking for anything major to approach us for a few days. There will be another surge of cold air coming down out of Canada, probably arriving during the day on Monday. And between now and then, the warm-up will definitely continue. Tomorrow, we'll see 60s and 70s already to our west, and you can just push those 60s and 70s our way. They'll be here on Sunday. Here's a look at what's going on outside at 6 o'clock this evening, and we find that it's clear in 36. Low humidity, very low dew point of only -1. That is very low, very dry air. Northwesterly wind at 15 miles an hour and a steady barometer. The high today, 38, and the low 17, 19 below average. A week ago, we were 22 degrees above average, so it just has changed dramatically. 77 record high and 17 record low on this state. A beautiful picture that Lucille Weber of Helen, Georgia sent me. It's the Mark of the Potter on Highway 197 in Habersham County on the Soquet River, and that's a beautiful and historic place, and I know many of you in northeast Georgia have seen it. I have not seen it personally myself, but I certainly want to one of these days. Here's a look at our forecast now for Atlanta vicinity. Clear and cold tonight, lows of 18 to 22 in the city and 10 to 15 up in the Georgia mountains. Prepare for a cold one. Tomorrow, a sunny, gorgeous day. The thaw beginning and underway at 50 degrees tomorrow with westerly winds at 10 miles an hour. Sunday, even better, up to 60 degrees. A small chance of a little rain on Monday, not much. 55 for a high, and a little cooler weather coming back in for Tuesday. So basically, folks, we got a great weekend coming up. Let's get out there and
I'll take it.
Take advantage of it.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken.
All right.
Well, as some of the folks in the South might say, we got us a big old fight tomorrow night.
Fight coming, Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson. Bruno is an excellent fighter. I think he'll go at least 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. Hey, Spinks was a good fighter, too. He only went 30 seconds. Tomorrow night in Las Vegas, Nevada, our first look at Mike Tyson in some 8 months. Tyson versus Frank Bruno. Today, the weigh-in, the Dapper Dan underwear for Tyson. He is the massive favorite with everybody. These are two very, very large guys.
228 pounds. Mike Tyson weighs in at an even 218 pounds.
All right, they're all set to go. Tyson in less than 5 rounds. I think 3 rounds. Baseball. You're shaking your head. Baseball, apparently the odds of Dale Murphy joining the Padres is shooting up. The Braves have sent a scout to Arizona to look at Sandy Alomar and others. Murphy, though, looks in excellent condition considering his knee surgery and all of the other things. Russ Nixon, though, is clear.
I truly don't feel like there's going to be that much done with it. I certainly hope not, because I want him playing for the Braves.
Can't blame him at all. The Braves signed Tom Glavine to a contract. Only 2 players are without deals, Mark Lemke and Paul Assenmacher. Elsewhere in Florida, American League MVP Jose Canseco has had an irresponsible winter, being arrested for driving 135 miles per hour, not showing up for paid appearances around the country, and has been AWOL from spring training. Now, Canseco is finally reporting, and he just can't figure it out. He can't figure out why everybody is so upset with his behavior over the last 100 days.
Basically, I've done pretty well coming in late. I mean, this year I'm only 1 day late. Maybe next year I'll be here on time or even early.
Making $2 million a year, asking too much. The Hawks are home tomorrow night with Chicago. Tough one last night with Indiana, 100-97. The Hawks led a 10-point lead escape in the final seconds, but hey, they won. Dominic Wilkins hit his first 7 shots of the second half, had 26. The Pacers led by Detlef Schrempf. He had 18. His name not on his jersey yet. Watch the nice pass from Wilkins to Moses Malone. That is a thing of beauty. Now, Indiana can tie this game. Chuck Person for the 3-pointer, if he can get it to drop very, very close. 100-97 Atlanta over Indiana last night. Indiana State has been lost for a decade. Losing seasons, firing coaches, losing fans, a long way from 1979 when Larry Bird took the Sycamores to the NCAA title game against Magic Johnson. Last night, an ugly incident with Wichita State, a nasty, horrible fight that's just, there's no excuse for that. In fact, the referees threw out 10 Indiana State players, so the final couple of minutes, 5 on 2. 5-on-2, 2 being Indiana State. And apparently their head coach is going to lose his job, so that must be a lovely situation, not only to be playing on that team, but going to the games and seeing that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, bad.
The Sycamores.
Junk.
Thanks.
All right, I'll see you tonight at 11.
We'll be here.
Thanks, Jeff. When we return here on Eyewitness News, we'll tell you why one man just whittles his life away.
His back-to-basics story in a moment.
If you're thinking about buying a new car, see your Atlanta area Volkswagen dealer now, while he has factory-to-dealer cash incentives that make savings of up to $2,000 off MSRP possible on select models. And 4.9% APR financing on all new Golf, Jetta, and GTI models. So think Volkswagen, but think fast, because these offers are for a limited time only, and only at your Atlanta area Volkswagen dealer.
Morning,
This one
Joanne.
was approved, yes?
Right, and Steve knows about the change, the exclusion of the top 10.
This is my husband, Michael. He's under a lot of pressure, but now he's doing things differently. Like taking the stairs, eating more fruit, and cutting down on cholesterol and saturated fat. That's why I cook the foods he loves with Puritan oil. Puritan has no cholesterol and is 94% saturated fat-free. I've got an idea.
The health club before dinner. Great.
Michael is feeling wonderful. And I am too.
Puritan. Make it your oil for life.
Listen here, Morton Downey Jr., if you think you're gonna get the last word on the Arsenio Hall show, then you got another thing coming, right, guys? I mean, these people are coming here to have a good time, and they're not taking lip off you, right, guys? And you know what? Joan Rivers ain't gonna take lip off you either. She feels the same way I do. We got your number, Morton Downey Jr. These ain't a bunch of whips like what you used to, right, guys? That was before, and this is now. Me, Joan, and you on the next Arsenio Hall show. Yeah!
Tonight at midnight on Channel 5.
Get explosive deals on 1988 cars and trucks during Landmark Dodge's special purchase sale going on now. Equipped, not stripped. Drive a Caravan at $11,995, a sporty Daytona at $84,995, or the Dynasty at $10,995. How about the Shadow at $69,995 and the LeBaron convertible at $11,995 with special financing available. Incredible prices, you bet, only at Landmark Dodge, Terra Boulevard, Jonesboro.
Just a few minutes ago, United Airlines revised its count. It now says 9, not 16 people are missing from that 747 that lost a big chunk of its fuselage in mid-flight early today. We'll have more on the investigation into what went wrong on Flight 811 on Eyewitness News at 11. Also tonight in our special series, Trash TV, Reality Television. Programmers are finding that crime pays when looking for stories that will pull in the viewers. Join us for those stories and more at 11.
Finally tonight, for some, the down-home art of whittling is a good way to kill time. For a Wisconsin man, it's a lifelong passion. In fact, 77-year-old Adolf Vanderty is a world-renowned whittler. His 217-foot-long whittled wooden chair is in annals of Ripley's, believe it or not. Vanderty's been wood carving since he was 10 years old. His house is literally stuffed with all of his creations. And Vanderty says he'll continue to whittle away the hours till his eyes and hands just won't let him do it anymore.
Things are kind of slow in Green Bay this time of year.
Yeah, they always are.
That's it for this 6 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News. I'm Richard Belcher.
And I'm Brenda Wood. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tonight at 11. Until then, good evening, everyone.